This is our BB-ADJR adjustable unit. This unit is designed to expand from just under 33 inches to just over 61 inches in total width when mounted wall to wall. In this case, we will be installing this unit in an open-ended configuration which is allowable up to a maximum 36-inch spread. This particular installation will also utilize our BT-17s, which is sold as an optional item, as the open-ended support point. Our first step is to spread the ADJR unit to the desired width. In this case, to the maximum width of 36 inches. You will note that there are pre-drilled 1/4 inch holes in 6 locations. These need to be drilled through, and then 1/2 inch by number 12 machine screws will be inserted and secured with nuts to the inside of the bench. These screws and nuts are supplied with the adjustable unit in the fastener bag. Using a level, you will then locate a horizontal line on the wall to locate the bottom of the bench unit's mounting position. This is usually 13 to 17 inches above the finished floor. You will also need to mark the end of the expanded unit so that you can determine where the BT-17s location will be. The BT-17s will be mounted in a vertical position and placed within the last 6 inches of the open end. Once our locations have been determined, we hold the units in their respective locations and mark the corresponding mounting holes on the substrate. Place the units aside and using a 3/8 inch drill bit, drill through the substrate. If blocking or wood members are encountered, discard the hollow wall anchors and use the screws that are provided instead. After drilling the mounting locations, place the anchors, if used, in each hole and expand the anchors by tightening the machine screws until snug. Do not over-tighten. Remove the screws and place a small amount of caulk in and around the fastener sleeves to seal the wall penetration. Then replace the bench and BT-17s and secure in place with the appropriate screws. Place a continuous bead of caulk along the top edge of the bench unit where it abuts the walls, and an additional amount of caulk over the fastener head if desired for additional water protection. You are now ready to fill the entire unit with mortar. This is a very lean cement to sand ratio material, 4 parts sand to 1 part cement, with very little water added during blending. This material, once blended, is termed dry pack, floor, or deck mud. This is the same material that is generally used when installing a shower floor. You can use either a bulk sand with Portland cement added to it in the ratio mentioned of 4 parts sand to 1 part cement, or you can use a pre-bagged mix that is commercially available at ceramic tile dealers, most lumber yards and landscape supply houses, or at larger home improvement stores such as Lowe's or Home Depot. The material is usually kept in the masonry or bricklayers sections. You do not want to use anything that says high strength or fast setting, as these are usually indicators of a higher cement to sand ratio than is recommended for filling the Better Bench products. Place the powder mortar in a mixing container, usually a wheelbarrow or mixing box as you see here. Add an initial amount of water to the mix to begin blending. Using a hoe, square point shovel, or trowel, chop the mix well until blended evenly, adding water sparingly until all the powder has been converted to a uniform, compactable blend without a wet look. You will have the right consistency when you can pick up a handful of material, pack it into a ball, and it does not leave a wet residue on your hands. You may then pack this material tightly into the entire bench unit. Allow the mortar to extend above the back of the bench approximately 3/8 of an inch and screed evenly to the front to allow for a sufficient amount of slope so water will not pool on the top surface of the bench after tiling. Fill the BT-17s at this time with the same material. We find it easier to use a scrap of flat material or an extra trowel to act as a slip form while filling the vertical side. Merely place the flat material a couple of inches up from the bottommost point of the unit and pack the material behind nice and tight. Slide the form up a couple more inches and repeat until you get to the top. Add a very small amount of additional water to the remaining mix. This will allow the material to stick a little easier to the front face of the bench and BT-17s unit. Screed the front channel flush and then allow the installation to set up sufficiently prior to tiling. The time required for setup is varied and can be as little as 1 hour or overnight depending on your skill level and comfort.